What is genocide? That's a very specific, important question to realize. Do we really know the answer? Now, quick definition, most people would know it as deliberate killing of a large number of people from a particular nation or ethnic group. And the main focus is the destroying this nation or ethnic group. When I mean destroying, I mean completely wiping them out. Their culture's gone. Every living, breathing individual's gone. Even you can say their past is gone, their history. So there's so many different levels to the word genocide. And the issue with it, that is what we utilize as genocide. The deliberate killing. Not usually anything else. Not the cultural wiping. But I will focus on killing of a nation slash ethnic group. So, my name is Eric Bologna, and I have chosen the hero nominate genocide, which, when people think of Germany, they usually think of Nazi Germany and the Holocaust, which which is horrible. That's the only thing they remember about Germany. But I am going to touch base on a different genocide or intent to genocide committed by German colonial forces at the beginning of the 20th century. Most people don't even remember that Germany was a colonial power in Africa. Most people don't even think, when I think of genocide in the Germans, they think of the Nazis. But no, they have been committing these types of atrocities before. But it's not localized this to Germany. Pretty much almost all European nations in one form or another have committed genocide. So I don't really want to single them out for that Germany is just horrible and that all they want to do is like, you know, commit genocide because that's not the purpose. But my thing, I will be focusing on, as I said, the hero nominee genocide that so say lasted from 1904 to 1908. Depends who you're talking about. But I'm going to start somewhere. Well, and mine's more, was it an intentional genocide or was it by accident? I know, by accident genocide. It seems a little like, how does these persons not know they're attempting to commit a genocide? You got to understand also with the term genocide. It's newer. It hasn't been around since the dawn of time because the terminology was coined after the end of World War II. Not before. Before, we're looking back and calling things genocide. Before that, countries would call them nation killing. Hence, where, the nation aspect of genocide. But in Germany, specifically and during the colonial era, had, as I said, in Southwest Africa, their colonies. Really, what I'm going to focus on first is Germany as a colonial power. They're new. I'm going to talk about how they're a little newer to the imperial world. They, compete as much in the past. Where everybody remembers the colonial periods, the Spanish, the French, the English, North America. So I'm going to focus a little bit on the rise of German colonial power. Then we're going to switch gears into what was the ultimate goal of German colonialism. We have to talk about what was the point of this. A lot of times, if you read, especially coming to the uprisings that will promote mass murder or genocide, there's a lot of hints at settlers colonialism. Settlers coming in, want to force them out, get rid of the natives. We need this land, which sometimes that is a debate that goes on with this topic, this specific genocidal action. That it's really just settlers colonialism. and death is just, the after effect. But the reason I brought up the settler colonialism aspect, because the uprisings in the late 19th century in West and South Africa under German control was predominantly done because of that. Settlers wanted more land so they can wanted more cattle was the main point. So we move a little along, we go through time, then we get to where I think the biggest debate when it comes to this, again, is it an intentional genocide or did it happen by accident? But also, does a genocide have to be intentional or can it just happen by accident? So that's a little strange part about that. But I want to read a quote that was from October 2nd, 1904. So this is what they say, the coining, the day that Germany switched from an uprising tactics, suppression, rebellion suppression to genocide. You gotta also have to understand this is the colonial government, not the centralized German government in Europe. So, I, the great general of the German troops, send this letter to hero people. The hero no longer German subjects. They have murdered and stolen. They have cut off the ears, noses, and other body parts of wounded soldiers. Now, out of captain will receive 1,000 marks. Whoever delivers Samuels will receive 5,000 marks. Samuels was one of the main leaders in the uprising that led to this. So the hero people must, however, leave the land. If the populace does not do this, I will force them with Graplau, which means cannon, within the German borders. Every hero, with or without a gun, with or without cattle, will be shot. I will no longer accept women and children. I will drive them back to their people, or I'll let them be shot. These are my words to the hero people, the great general of the mighty German Kaiser. So this is the gentleman, and this is what they will call the extermination order. So General Lothar von Trapp is the guy that's going to be in charge for a while. He puts against all these no prisoners, everyone dies. They won't, doesn't matter, man, woman, or child. And this, kind of gives the reflection, is it genocide? Because we're going to wipe out everyone. He's targeting a specific ethnic group. But is it genocide? That's the real question. I specifically think it is. And I'm going to push that in my paper. But the real part of this I want to push is that it's intentional. It's not, it happened by accident. It was intentional. Because he literally says no quarter. Everyone will be shot. There's a lot of other wonderful quotes by this man. And he literally says them to annihilate. But let's start with the first order. And if you want to know more, you're going to have to read what I wrote. No? Yeah. But anyways, we're going through. I'll talk a lot about, the skirmishes, the scorched earth tactics that von Trott's going to use. And then I'll, end a little bit with Shark Island, which I believe is the most well-known aspect, which a lot of times is the battleground of the debate. Is this intentional or accidental genocide? I really hate that accidental term. Because, Shark Island was a concentration camp. Thousands died there. Forced labor, malnutrition, disease. So that's usually the major backbone of the debate of intentional or not. But I'm going to continue to push for it was intentional. Even after von Troth's orders were abandoned, there's still killing going on. Intentional, in my mind, yes. And according to my research, yes. But there is people still debating that it was not intentional. Because even after Shark Island closes and they move the prisoners of war, the hero people, somewhere else, there is still a high death toll at first. So, it wasn't just because of Von Troth, but that's pretty much. I'm trying to prove that it was intentional mass murder, not murder by accident. So, intentional genocide, not genocide by accident. So, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope maybe you'll read it, what I wrote. I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you want a different perspective on on the Germans committing acts of genocide other than just the Nazis. Which another paper would be about how it did the Nazis learn from German colonialism how to commit genocide? Who will know? Maybe I'll have that at the end. Wonder if people would want that. Well, I'm out. Enjoy the video.